For this video, I'm going to take a look at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum located in Orlando, Florida. So I'm back in Orlando, Florida. Now, I've covered a couple wax museums in the past on this channel. The most recent example was I had been to the Potter's Wax Museum in St. Augustine. Now, that is an older facility, quite a bit smaller than this one. The Madame Tussauds in Orlando is just huge. I was shocked. It also comes at a price. I think the ticket here was about $35, and if I recall, Potter's was under 20, so you do pay more to get in here, but the attraction is also larger, and you spend a lot more time. Like Potter's, I was kind of done with the whole place in about 45 minutes. Here at the Orlando Wax Museum, it took me a solid 2 hours to see everything, so there's just a lot here to do. And the other thing that's really neat about this place is I do love the DC superheroes, and they really themed the building well to Metropolis and Gotham City and all that stuff. And it's definitely the most elaborate part of the walking tour. I was kind of laughing though because in the gift shop they've got DC comics and characters on merchandise on the one side, and directly across from it they have Marvel superheroes on the other side, and I've never seen that before. Generally, when somebody carries DC merchandise, they don't usually have Marvel merchandise. I mean, the only other exception is like comic book stores, but for the most part they usually pick a side and stick to it. As for the wax museum itself, I think the wax figures here were probably the most realistic that I've ever seen. The ones at Potter's definitely looked a little more artificial to my eyes, although you have to kind of give them a pass because they were one of the first wax museums out there, and some of those figures were probably made, 50, 60 years ago, so they definitely are a little more primitive compared to what is here. I was skeptical that this would be a successful attraction, but they've been here for quite a few years now, and they seem to be doing really well. There were a lot of people in the museum when I was walking around. The place was pretty packed. It was one of the more populated tourist attractions that I've been to on International Drive, so they're definitely doing something well. Back when they first opened, I was a little skeptical that they would be successful, simply because I always figured, if you're in Orlando already and you've got all these dark rides with animatronics, why would you come to see, static wax figures? But when you look at the price nowadays, this is a cheaper alternative to a Disney day. If you don't want to spend like $125 getting into the gate at Disney World or Universal, you come here for $35 and spend a couple hours, and maybe you have a layover before you get back on the plane for a couple hours. And this attraction seems to be carving out that particular niche. But for my bottom line, I'm going to give this a recommendation. I think this is one of the nicest wax museums I've ever seen. I thought this attraction was a little bit pricey, but it's on par with how much you pay to get in at WonderWorks or Ripley's, and I had a lot better time here than I did at Ripley's, so I'm going to give this one a recommendation. Thanks for watching this episode of The Adventure Shmup. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See everyone next week.